Have you ever asked yourself the reason why so many people choose loneliness over marriage? Now, here is the hidden truth I'm about to reveal to you now. Now, first and foremost, let's be honest here. Not everyone wants to get married. You need to understand this. And not everyone who is married is happy. Now, in a world that often equates success with being in a relationship, some people quietly choose solitude. But their reasons are not always rooted in bitterness or in fear. Sometimes it's wisdom. Yes. So let's take time and explore the deeper truth behind their decisions. And we're going to do this compassionately. We are going to do this spiritually and without any judgment. Welcome to BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub, your space for real, respectful conversation of love, faith, marriage, and also personal growth. Now, if you have ever felt pressured to marry, or you have wondered if walking alone makes you less, then this video will encourage you in the most surprising way. Now, be sure to like, subscribe, and also tap the notification bell so you don't miss more wisdom-filled content each week. Now, let's go deeper into this perspective that challenges what many people assume about singleness and marriage. It's going to sound a bit controversial, but the truth is this: if you can pay attention to the end, you understand where I'm driving to, and then it will be of immense benefit to you. Now, let's break down some powerful truth behind why some people choose to be single and why, for many, it is not just a phrase, it is purpose-driven. Now, number one, they choose to be or remain single for emotional trauma and self-preservation. Their reason, their choice of singleness is one, for emotional trauma and self-preservation. Now, see, some people have experienced, it will interest you to know that some people have experienced deep emotional wounds from childhood, from past relationships, or even painful marriages that they now feel safer being alone. Don't be in a haste to judge. Now, instead of jumping into another relationship, they choose to stay single in order to heal, to rediscover who they are, and also to avoid repeating some toxic patterns. Now, this is not about running away from love. It is honoring one's journey towards emotional wholeness. You see, as believers, we are called to love ourselves too. Do you know that? Jesus, in his word, says, love your neighbor as yourself. What does this mean? To love your neighbor as yourself. That means to say you have loved yourself first. Now, you are now trying to extend that love for which you have loved yourself with. You are extending it now to your neighbors. What does it mean here? It implies that you have to also love yourself before choosing to love others. He says, so that includes taking time to restore your soul first before giving it to someone else. You take time to restore your soul, love your soul enough before extending it to others. So choosing temporary or permanent loneliness to heal is not a weakness. It is strength wrapped in wisdom. Number two reason why many choose to remain single rather than get married is fear of repeating generational patterns. The fear of repeating generational patterns. You'll agree with me that there are those who choose solitude because they have seen too many broken marriages in their families amongst their relatives, or even amongst their friends. They have seen enough. Now, they fear walking into a cycle of hurt, and they witness of hurt. They are afraid of walking into the same cycle of hurt that they witnessed, especially while they were growing up. So they feel that rather than enter marriage with fear, they rather choose to pursue and reflect deeply. They choose to pause and reflect deeply. They may say something like, if I can't do it right, I better not do it at all. Now, this is not cynicism. You might see it like that, but it's not. It's simply caution. In fact, if it shows how much it shows how much they value the sacredness of marriage. Yes, it shows they value it. They have respect for it. Rather than not do it well, it's rather not to do it at all. We must understand these people's mindset before rushing to judge them. They may be waiting for the right time or the right person, guided by deep discernment. Number 3 reason is purpose-driven singleness. There is what I call purpose-driven singleness. Not everyone is called to marry. You must know this. Not everyone that is called to marry. Yes, not everyone is called to marriage, and that's okay. Yes. Now, the Bible and life show us examples of people who made kingdom impact while remaining single. There are lots of them. Being single, yet they made impact in the world, in the life of people. So singleness can create space to focus on ministry, career, personal goals, and even family responsibilities without added layer of marital compromise. So choosing singleness can be an intentional, God-led season of deep purpose, not a season of lack. Don't see it that way. Number 4 reason is the desire for peace over partnership. Some people choose to remain single for desire for peace over partnership. Now, the fact is this. Some people deeply value inner peace and emotional stability more than anything else. They fear that the wrong relationship, no matter how exciting it can be, could lead or could steal the quiet joy they have built. Now, to them, being alone in peace is far much more better than being married and in constant emotional chaos. Now, this doesn't mean they hate marriage. No, it simply means they have counted the cost and they prefer contentment over conflict. Now, while for some, peace is the ultimate life, many believe that peace is the ultimate life. And even in relationship goals. So, and they have vowed to maintain their peace, even if it means walking alone forever or for a while. Always understand people's perspective. Give room for people's own belief system before you judge them. Give understanding. Number 5 reason why so many choose to be alone is most times loneliness, can lead to deeper intimacy with God. Sometimes it can lead to deeper intimacy with God. Now, for some, singleness is not loneliness. It's a sacred season. Marriage is beautiful, but so also is a life solely devoted to God. So there is a there's a quiet closeness you experience, I must explain to you, with God in solitude than, than in business. So the fact remains that when you are not consumed with someone else's needs, you have more space for prayer. You have more space for reflection and even deep spiritual growth. Many single people develop rich spiritual lives because they have made room for intimacy with God before intimacy with anyone else. Now, that closeness is what becomes the foundation of joy for them, whether they eventually marry or not. The Apostle Paul, speaking in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, if you read from verse 34 to 35, he highlighted that the unmarried individuals can serve the Lord easily without divided attention. Now, that does not mean that the married cannot serve better. The married can also serve better, but the thing is this: they will have to put in more effort. So some people choose not to marry because they are on a personal mission, fulfilling a purpose that requires focus, that requires mobility, and especially flexibility. That is where some churches, their priests refuse to marry. Now, if you watch those priests, those that understand this practice and they are doing it with their heart, they excel more than others. While those who don't understand it, as if they are forced into it, they don't go far because they don't understand the reason why they do what they do. So they are not just avoiding marriage, they are only answering a divine calling. For such people, their singleness is not a void. In fact, it's a vessel. It's not a void, it's a vessel. Now, as I conclude, you need to understand that choosing loneliness over marriage doesn't mean giving up on love. No, it means refusing to settle for anything less than that what aligns with your peace, purpose, and God's plan. And if you have ever felt pressured, if you have ever felt judged, if you have ever felt misunderstood for walking alone, take heart. You are not broken. In fact, you are brave. So whether you are single or whether your singleness is for a season or whether your singleness is for a lifetime, it can still be meaningful. It can still be joyful. It can still be full of divine purpose. So share with us in the comment section, do you believe choosing singleness can be a healthy decision? Please, why or why not? Please drop your views, your opinions on the comment section below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub, where love is intentional and relationships are built on truth and grace. Hit that bell button, that bell icon down below there, so you never miss another teaching again. Thank you for being with us. I will see you again in our next video. Goodbye.